Shalom. Kol Halalim Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom to the prophets of that body, and shalom to the 144,000 and one third. Okay, shalom, shalom, shalom. And may peace and blessings be upon your households and a spirit of endurance. Okay, now this red dress thing. See, Jake is crazy, man. All right. And many a times coming up, right, growing up in the UK, we had our British counterparts in terms of talk shows. There was a talk show called Kilroy, right? You can check that out yourself, called Kilroy, Kilroy. And on there was a couple of models that were male models that were doing showing so-called fashion-based items or whatever, right? And the Edomite model was wearing masculine clothing, and they had the Jake model coming out wearing a kilt, which is basically a Scottish version. Well, they say it's a Scottish version of a dress, right? I'm not too familiar on the kilt traditions, okay? They say it hails from Scotland, okay? But it's a form of a dress, okay? Or it looks like a dress, all right? Or a skirt, yeah, it looks like a skirt. And within the audience, there are a whole bunch of chicks, because at that time in the 80s and early 90s, being masculine and the so-called black mind. I hate saying black. I really hate saying that. The so-called black man, his mind was more so-called into that Afrocentric bullshit, and uh, but the mindset was like keeping everything masculine, you know, and manliness and manhood and fatherhood and being a son and a provider and things of that nature. And Jake stood up within the audience saying, "Why have you got the brother?" He said, "Why have you got the brother in a skirt and you got the white guy wearing pants?" Right? So this emasculation of the so-called black man has been going on since the beginning, right? Esau, the so-called white man, is happy to see you Jakes, you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men, but especially you so-called black men, since you hail from the head tribe, because our Lord Yahweh Shai hails from the tribe of Judah, Yahweh, which is a head tribe, right? Pursuant to Hebrews 7:14, right? Okay, but some of you Jakes could be Judah, Benjamin, or Levi. Some of you could be Gad or Reuben as well, the northern kingdom. Okay, but they want to emasculate you so-called black men, right? They want to have that. They're happy to see so-called black men wearing dresses, lipstick, and acting sassy and like a female on camera, on videos, on they love that shit, you know. But if you come out looking like what's that bodybuilder's name? The one who's in it, who's what's his name? If you come out looking like a what's that guy's name, man? Ronnie Coleman, you know, with a with a beard on your face and a real masculine edge, and you know, you know, you're austere and you're humble. You don't take no shit. You're a man's man. They don't like that. You know, you're normal. You're straight. They don't like that. You know, they want to see you all acting like a bitch, basically, right? And our people, man, they just love, 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 right? That wicked generation is back. All right. This is, listen, America, Europe, the so-called white man's world, which is falling, Brakti Habashimashai, right, is a very faggoty world. All right. And faggot just means a bundle of sticks. Okay. Okay. It's a very a mole world. Okay. And our people love to follow the heathen. All right. They don't want to listen to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. They don't want to follow the dietary laws. They don't want to follow the dress code. They don't want to follow the moral laws. You know, they don't want to follow the real high holy days. They want to just be part and parcel of the world and go along to get along. They don't want to go against it. Okay, they'd rather do all this bullshit. Okay, than rather, um, you know, try and be the best they can in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Shai. You know, they'd rather be wicked. They'd rather do this than inherit the kingdom and have spiritual power and be under the rule and authority of Yahweh Bashem Shai. You know, this is what Jake. This is what you. This is what you Jakes want. You Jakes make me sick. You know, but nevertheless, they always want to see you N-words, right? In dresses and skirts. This is where Esau likes you. And those faggot Edomites, those crackers, you telling me they don't, they're not licking their lips. As disgusting as it sounds. These crackers look at you Jakes, man, as the same way a man looks at a woman. And it's sickening. All right. Let's just see what this bullshit is about. All right. Any man, right? Any so-called black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, any Israelite man, no matter what you look like, you wear a dress, you go for a run like this, you're happy and comfortable wearing female clothing, acting feminine, right? You are a homo. There's no way you are a real man, okay? All right? And if you say that you are, guaranteed you're one of those DL people, down low, you're undercover, and you just disguise it saying, oh, it's just for fun, it's for charity. All right, I'm just gonna go to the part where it gives you what the fuck? 1 second. All right, and this is Jake. Jake, yeah, this is look. This is Jake as well. Fun. Somebody. I'm not on Instagram, so I just found this. I just chucked it in Google. As you can see, I'm not. I'm not into this. I'm not. You know, I'm not on IG. I'm a different generation. Funny thing about Red Dress Run. Everyone shows up, but most have no clue what they're actually at, or where they're actually at, or what they're actually at. I'll never be okay with that kind of ignorance. So let's clear it up. What is a red dress run? And no, okay, it says no, it's not a gay event. It is one, definitely. Okay, because I've got some images here. 1 second. It says red dress run, Saturday, 9th of August, gay New Orleans, gay cities. Yeah, so it's focusing on that. They just disguise it as a charitable run, but really it's all a bunch of momos there. All right, okay. And as you can see, the run is usually separate as well. You got like a bunch of Edomite men as well as Jake's running. The fixation and every putting them on camera is always when they, because I didn't even know about it that Edomites ran this red dress bullshit too. But they always put the so-called black man in the forefront, because the whole world knows the so-called white man's a homo anyway. Even the prostitutes in Thailand and the women in Thailand know that or especially, let's just say the women in Thailand know when so-called black men come there or brown men come to Thailand, they want PUSSY, real organic, none of that fucking weird flip flop shit, right? But when it comes to the so-called white man, okay, which these local Thai women know, the so-called white man wants little boys, or they want those men dressed like women with who have their rods, okay? So chicks with what they call the chicks with DICKSs. If you've seen the movie Boomerang, this is what these crackers are into. That's their nature. They have a foul, adverse nature. Okay, anything that is against the scriptures is Satanism. All right, it's adverse. Look at these. Look at that. Some of these Jakes probably like 6'2", 6'3", 210, 225, and weight, wearing dresses and shit, and they're actually comfortable with it. And some of these Jakes are older, man. Some of them not even Gen Z. They should know better, man. Look at this shit. Black, you know what weddings. What does a red dress represent? That whore of Babylon, doesn't it? Right? Sickening. Anyway, They say, right, it all started in 1987 when Donna Dresses Reinhardt showed up to a run in a red dress and heels thinking she was just there to watch. She ran away, inspiring a worldwide tradition where everyone wears red for charity. New Orleans took it next level with music, drinks, and a French quarter party like no other. So basically, just like a mode parade. All right, okay, those carnival type demonic things that Jake's been doing, man. All right, this is what it is. You know, the same kind of bullshit made up story, man. Look at this. Who the fuck is Donna? Whatever, man. It's just an excuse. And look at this MFer, man. Check this fucking weirdo out. I'm gonna hide. Actually, you know what? Let's just play it. By the way, copyright fair use. Okay. It raises millions for charities. You think that? Do you think all these millions that are so-called raised for charities, right, actually end up to people that actually need it? It goes straight to the CEOs and the managing directors and all the people high up on the chain as bonuses. They don't give nothing to charity, man. Some bullshit. I don't believe that. You know, people that sign up for these charities that give money to them. I don't believe it actually goes to the people. You know, bunch of weirdos, man. Look at this shit. Oh yeah, there's a video that I've lined up here as well. Where okay, what really happens? Now, I found this video as well, right? So okay, hope Jake don't mind. Either when I initially had this video lined up, it was 414, so the spirit just said, "Yo, use this." But anyway, it's called "I Need Some Understanding." So first time I jumped on this Jake's channel, I'm assuming he's one of those so-called YouTubers that comes out with different types of news, you know, especially Jake stuff or Jake orient. Well, news with Jake in it. All right, no matter how foul it is. But what really happened at a red dress run? Wife furious after husband wears dress with friends. All right. Apparently, this woman is going to speak about it. And by the way, copyright fair use. You know, it's from this Jake's channel. I Need Some Understanding. Check him out if you want. This is the first video I'm watching, so I don't even know what he's about. I'm just focusing on his red dress bullshit. All right. Um, Apparently, a man. Well, actually, I let the lady speak. All right. Uh, let's just let it go. And then send you husband and wife go to New Orleans without telling you, and then send you some pictures like this. This woman texts her husband, "Why you in New Orleans?" And he gonna say, "Me and the homies went to this event. My bad, baby. I should have told you. Finna send you these pictures." Then proceeds to, "Baby, I should have told you. Finna send you these pictures." Well, obviously, a man went didn't tell his missus, you know, that I'm going to New Orleans to do a red dress run with his so-called homies, you know, which is some weird shit, you know, which is some weird shit, man. You know, some of these jakes are moles, undercover. They do some foul shit. They have wives, to be part of the, to look normal. And obviously, his woman was furious. Okay, that's why nobody takes you, Jake, seriously. Okay, you think you're doing this to have be in touch with your feminine side. Women don't like this shit. Okay, you're wearing their garments. Bunch of weirdos. Then proceeds to send her the gayest picture she probably ever seen of this nigga. Like, look at these dresses, bro. They are in skin tight dresses. Nigga got a slit up to his thigh. Look at this, Jake trying to be masculine and shit. Obviously, look at the dude's leg. Obviously, he does squats and shit. He works out. You know what? This is some weird shit, man. Listen, man. If you're a real man, right, and you like women, there is no way, especially in this fagged out world that we're in right now, you would be comfortable. Any Jake man would be comfortable dressed like that. There's no fucking way. because we are being overwhelmed in media, cartoons, real life, um, so-called politically correct world. We are being overwhelmed with this fucking weird shit. All right. So for you to be comfortable to do this, you got to be part of that Mo world. All right.
Like, it ain't no way you not getting cracked while you out there. What are you doing? What are you doing? You in New Orleans dressed like a damn hoochie. Who you trying to pull? Who you there to see? Like, what? My husband ever went on a secret trip to New Orleans and sent me some pictures like these. Don't even come back home. We're getting a divorce. Because there's absolutely no way. You're gay. And that's fine. Be gay. There's nothing wrong with being gay.
By the way, the latter part, don't listen to this stupid woman. There's plenty wrong with being a Mo. Okay? There's plenty wrong with that. That's against the scriptures. It's disgusting as well. All right?
But I am not going to remain married to a gay man. Fuck wrong with y'all niggas, man.
Okay? See, the woman spoke a little bit of sense until she started saying there's nothing wrong with being a Mo. There's plenty wrong with being a faggot. Okay? It's disgusting. All right? Let's go to some scriptures, man. Red dress run starts at Armstrong Park. Okay, if you want to raise money for charity, why wear a red dress? What's that about? You know, it's basically a fag event which has disguised it as a so-called charity run. That's all it is. Okay, nothing's straightforward with Esau. Esau's always going to have, you know, shit covered in sugar. You know, they're going to say, "Oh, it's a charitable run," but then they're going to fucking say, "Oh, man, let's make it fun." Oh, men dress wear red dresses and shit. You know, it's stupid. It's just ridiculous. You know, and now people fall for the trap. But those are the same people back anyway, man, from Sodom and Gomorrah days. Those 5 cities that were burnt up, but the ones that are named most of the time that we hear about is Sodom and Gomorrah, and it's in the scriptures, man. Sodom and Gomorrah was a big place with was completely homoed out, you know. And now we're in a worse state today. This world is, you know, and the Lord is going to destroy it, you know. Deuteronomy 22 verse 5: The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai thy power. What's the definition of abomination? Definition of abomination: a thing that causes disgust or loathing. Okay? So when the Lord sees you like that, the Lord is disgusted and hates you. All right? You think Yahweh Shem Shai can't see this? The Lord is going to destroy America, man. Okay, and other parts of the world where this kind of thing goes on a heavy base on a real heavy basis. And the ones that Lord doesn't destroy with missiles, hey, the elect, when they come down with that spiritual power, will destroy it. Okay, let's go to the Leviticus chapter, man. Leviticus 20:13, King James Version. If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, right? What does a man and a woman do when they lie down on their bed? You know, you get it in. You have an enjoyable time with your lady, the way you're supposed to, right? But if a man also lie with mankind, you know, couple of mows, which is disgusting, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination, which is basically a filthy, disgusting, loathing act. All right, as we got the definition of abomination. They shall surely be put to death. The Lord Yahweh Shemashai said, these moles, male or female, okay, shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. All right. So if somebody deletes you because you're a mole, the person that deletes you has done no wrong because it was a righteous Kill. Okay. So let me get one more scripture as well regarding that. Men with men working that which is unseemly, King James Version. Romans 1:27, and likewise also them. Actually, let's go to Romans 1:26. But Romans 1:26, for this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change their natural use, you dykes, into that which is against nature. You know, you're rubbing up on each other, right? Salaki have to be a bit graphic there, but you know what it is. Verse 27, and likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, okay, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat. Okay, so basically, you know, you doing what you're doing, you're going to get that recompense. You're going to get that payback, all right, which was just and meat for the error that you're committing, you know. And man, the Lord is going to destroy you people, man. I can't really emphasize that more. You know, Amos 9:8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh Shai are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord Yahweh Shai. Okay, the Lord won't destroy all the house of Jacob. Okay, the elect are going to be saved because this time round, not all the Israelites are going to be saved. Two parts of our people are going to be deleted, and rightfully so, because a lot of them are just you know, that are a lot of them are against Yahweh Bashim Shai, and we just seen a whole bunch of pictures regarding that. All right, so the Lord also said, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob. Okay, okay, and let's go to Zechariah 13:8 and 13:9, which will emphasize who and how many of our people will be saved. Zechariah 13:8 and 13:9. Zechariah 13:8 and 9. And it shall come to pass, and in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. All right. And there is a whole bunch of candidates we saw in red dresses, all right, that are prepared for the slaughter of Yahweh Bashim Shai. The Lord will delete them, prepared for the slaughter of Salakia, a whole bunch of people in red dresses prepared to be slaughtered by Yahweh Bashim Shai. I'll say that better. Salakia. Okay, I said it incorrectly earlier. Okay, a whole bunch of people in red dresses prepared to be slaughtered by Yahweh Bashim Shai. Okay. Verse 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire. Okay, that's the 1/3 that will be saved. And will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord Yahweh Shai is my power. And this is and for the elect, this is partly going through the fire as well, because the elect have to deal with this bullshit, see it, deal with it, look at it, fucking see it on TV, computers, in real life, and it's vexing. And really, you want to put Leviticus 20:13 into effect, but you can't. We have to wait on Yahweh Bashim Shai. Romans 12:19. The Lord said, His vengeance is mine, and the Lord may use you to be the sword that which will do the Lord's work in terms of executing the vengeance when the time comes. All right. So be patient, Jake. This is part of the purifying process. We've got to deal with this bullshit and be patient and be still. Proverbs 15:3. The eyes of the Lord are in every place. The eyes of the Lord, Yahweh Shemeshai, are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. Okay? The Lord's eyes are brighter than the sun, man. The Lord is seeing all this. All right? You can disguise it as fun, but we know a lot of you people that wear red dresses like that, especially, in any age, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, even today. You are Mos. Okay? We know the so-called white man is naturally a homo anyway. That's their nature. They're faggots by nature. But you Jakes following suit, with these damn demons, hey, you're just, fuel for the fire. Which Yahweh Shemashah is going to use you as fuel for the fire, and rightfully so. All right? Rightfully so. Rightfully so. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. All praise to Yahweh Shemashah, Bashem Rakak Shalom.